So yesterday we have seen the relations for curvilinear motion. So what is a curvilinear motion? Curvilinear motion is the motion of a particle along a curve. If it is a circular motion, then we can say it is a circular motion. And if this motion is acting in a single plane, that is, we are considering a two-dimensional concept, then we can say it is a plane curvilinear motion. And we have seen certain relations for displacement, acceleration, velocity, etc. First of all, we have seen some relations like the relation connecting linear displacement and angular displacement as linear displacement s equal to r into angular displacement theta, linear velocity v equal to r into angular velocity omega, linear acceleration a equal to what is that? That നോർക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? R into alpha. There alpha is the angular acceleration. Now this was the initial point 1. After a curvilinear motion, it reaches a point 2. So let this be the this is the radius O. So this is the initial point. This is the final position, initial position and final position. Initial position, and this is the final position. Final position, and the particle is moving in this particular direction, in this curvilinear, in this curve. So the motion is a curvilinear motion, and the angular displacement means the displacement which is not linear but it is acting in an angular manner, that is in this manner. This is the angle swept by the radius when it moves from the initial point to the final point. So this is the angular displacement, and the velocity, angular velocity, if this is starting from rest, then at the initial point the velocity is 0. Velocity is always tangential, so this is the linear velocity, and angular velocity is acting like this. It will be omega 1. Omega 1 will be 0 if it is in rest. Then it starts moving, and this final position here, the velocity will be acting. Velocity will be tangential. This is the velocity v2, linear velocity, and here also the angular velocity omega 2. And we know the acceleration of the particle, angular acceleration when it passes from 1 to 2, the time, let the time taken for the journey be t12. Then the acceleration, angular acceleration alpha 12 means the acceleration happening over here will be change in omega by the time, right? Anyway, we have certain relations like u equal to b plus at, b square equal to u square plus 2as, then s equal to ut plus half at square. We had these equations. So like these equations, we can have the relations for the angular values also. That is, instead of u, we can write omega 1, v, instead of v, we can write omega 2. That is, here it is initial velocity, this is final velocity. So instead of u, we can write initial angular velocity. Instead of v, we can write final angular velocity. Instead of a, we can write angular acceleration, and t itself, and the displacement. Instead of displacement, we can rewrite as angular displacement. And so we can rewrite the relations as omega 1 equal to omega 2, sorry, u equal to v plus at അല്ല, ആരും പറഞ്ഞില്ലല്ലോ. v equal to u plus at, right? So this is omega 2 equal to omega 1 plus alpha t, or instead t12, here alpha 12, like this in this figure. Now v square equal to u square plus 2s. Instead of that, omega 2 square equal to omega 1 square plus 2 into, instead of a, alpha, instead of s, theta. Then the last relation, s equal to ut plus half at square. Instead of that, we can write theta equal to, instead of u, omega 1 t12 plus half into, instead of a, alpha, and instead of t, t12 square. Okay, so these are the relations we are using. Please note these relations and also the figure. Okay, so this was the initial point. So initial point 1, after the curvilinear motion, it took a curvilinear or curve and reaches the point 2. So the angle swept by the motion, it is the angular displacement theta. Then the time taken to travel this distance, that is t12, that is given by t12. And the angular velocity here, the linear velocities will be always tangential to the motion. Here it is like this, and at this point it will be like this, and this at any intermediate point it will be in the tangential direction. That is v1, v2, etc. Then the angular velocity means the velocity at which this angle is rotating. So that is, initial value is omega 1, final value is omega 2, and the change in angular velocity with respect to time is given by alpha 1, 2. Okay, now we have already seen that is the displacement. The displacement is given by displacement vector r equal to xi plus yj. We can denote like this, and the magnitude is given by r equal to root of x square plus y square. Similarly, velocity, for getting velocity, we differentiate the displacement, and the vector v is given by dy dt of vector r, that is dx by dt into I plus dy by dt into j, where the terms coming as the coefficient of I is the x component of velocity, and the coefficient of j is the y component of velocity. So we denote by vx and vy, and we turn the equation into vector v equal to vxi plus vyj. Then the magnitude of the velocity is given by v equal to root of the x coordinate square plus y coordinate square. Then for getting acceleration, we just differentiate the velocity with respect to time in the similar manner. So here also we will get two components, x component and y component. For x component we give ax, and y component we give ay. So this is the magnitude of acceleration. Now for the direction, for each term there is a direction. For velocity, if we check the velocity is having two components, vx and vy. Let us assume that is in this particular directions. If these are the x component of velocity and this is the y component of velocity, then the resultant velocity, that is v, will be at an angle theta, and the theta will be equal to tan inverse vy by vx. So this will be the direction of velocity. This will be the direction of velocity. So please note this. Okay, direction of velocity will be given by theta equal to tan inverse vy by vx. Why we are taking vy by vx? Because the angle is made by the x-axis, or the velocity with the x-axis. So we take vy by vx. In certain text it is given vx by vy, because they have taken the angle over here. Okay. Now in the same manner for the acceleration also. For acceleration, the components, two components, that is ax and ay, and so the resultant acceleration will be acting at an angle theta. Then the theta will be equal to tan inverse ay by ax. This is the direction of acceleration. Okay. So please note these things also. The relations, and for everything, that is displacement, velocity and acceleration, what is the vector notation, what is the magnitude, how we will get the magnitude, and then how we will get the direction. Okay, fine. I think you have completed over here. Next, these are the one way of representing the acceleration. Having two components, ax and ay. Suppose in certain cases we are considering in another manner, that is, we are considering, or we are not resolving along x and y axis. Usually we what we do is we have resolved the acceleration over x and y axis, that is ax and ay. We split the acceleration into ax, where the ax is the component of acceleration in the x direction, and ay is the component of the acceleration in the y direction. We have done in that manner. In certain cases, we, instead of resolving like that, we are resolving into normal and tangential direction. So we'll see how it is. That is, so let this be the initial point. This is the final point. So the particle is moving from 1 to 2 over this curve. Okay, and it take the angular displacement theta. So here the angular velocity was omega 1. Here it is omega 2. Here the linear velocity will be always tangential, that is v1. Here the linear velocity v2. Okay. Now the acceleration, angular acceleration alpha, the time taken is given by t12, and the angular acceleration is given by alpha 12. Here, these things all we know. Now the linear acceleration A, usually we represent by two components. Okay, these are having two components, that is ax and ay. This is the x component, and ay is the y component. Usually we have resolved like this, but sometimes we resolve into two components like at, that is the tangential component, and an as the normal component. Tangential component means if the acceleration, if we are considering this point, then the tangential component will be the acceleration. Tangential component of acceleration will be like this. This is the tangential component, and the normal component will be in the normal direction, an. So we will have two components. Okay. So what are the values? So I am not going to the derivations. We just need only the relations. Okay. So I will give you the relation. That is, for tangential acceleration, tangential acceleration represented by a t. Tangential acceleration is given by dv by dt, where v is the linear velocity at any point. If it is 1, then dv1 by dt. If it is 2, dv2 by dt. Anyway, tangential acceleration is dv by dt, which is given by r into alpha, or v is r omega. So this is r into alpha. This is the tangential acceleration. Now normal component. So normal acceleration, normal component of acceleration. Normal component of acceleration, comma an. An is given by omega square r. Omega square r, or we can write v equal to r omega. V equal to r omega. So instead of omega, we can write v by r. So this will turn into v square by r. Any relation you can use. Okay. So these relations you just by heart. Okay. For tangential acceleration, at equal to r alpha, or dv by dt, or r alpha. We use these two relations for certain problems. And the normal component of acceleration, we use these two relations. That is, for normal acceleration, it is omega square r. If we substitute this value, then we'll get v square by r also. Okay. So according to the data, given data, you can use either of the equations, right? So just note down these relations. Okay, finished. Okay, have you finished taking down this reply? Okay, fine. Now we'll just do a simple problem. Okay, your question. A particle moves along a circular path of radius small r, such that the distance covered is given by the relation s equal to ct square. Okay, where c is a constant Find the tangential and normal component. Find the tangential and normal component of acceleration of the particle. Okay, so this is your question. A particle moves along a circular path of radius r. So this is a radius r, such that the distance covered is given by, this is the relation for displacement, where c is a constant. Then find the tangential and normal component of acceleration. Simple question, direct question, just apply the relation. Okay, so what is asked? What we have to find? We have to find two things, that is tangential and normal component of acceleration. That is, we have to find AT and AN. We have to find AT and AN. So what is the relation for AT? AT equal to, we have two relations, right? Which all are the relations? dB by dt and R alpha, right? So we know that it is dV by dt or R alpha. We have two relations. Then AN equal to, AN we have omega square R, right? And also B square by R, omega square R and B square by R. So we write omega square R or B square by R. Just write this like. Then we see whether we are having these values over here or how we can reach there. So what are the given conditions or given data? Here it is given radius is r and we are not given the value r itself, and we have given a relation for displacement. So if we have the displacement, then we will get the velocity. How we will get the velocity? By differentiating. So here we can use this relation, first relation, that is AT equal to dV by dt, right? So for that we have to find the velocity. So velocity V will be equal to velocity V will be equal to ds by dt, right? ds by dt, which is equal to before that we just write s equal to the relation s equal to ct square, right? So from there velocity equal to ds by dt, which is the differential of this, where c is a constant, so we will get 2 into ct. This is velocity. Now the tangential acceleration, that is AT will be equal to dV by dt, which is equal to differential of this one, that is d by dt of 2ct, that is 2c. So this is the acceleration in the tangential direction or tangential component of acceleration. So we got the value. Now the normal component. Normal component, it is v square by r. V is 2ct. So v square means 4c square t square by r. So the normal component of acceleration equal to v square by r, which is v is 2ct, so 2ct square by r, or we can write 4c square t square by r. Okay, so these are the values. Please note these values. വി സ്ക്വയർ ബൈ ആർ സ്ക്വയർ അല്ലേ? വി സ്ക്വയർ ബൈ ആർ സ്ക്വയർ അല്ല. അതായത് ആ റിലേഷൻ വരുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നമുക്ക് നോർമൽ ആക്സിലറേഷൻ എ എൻ ഈക്വൽ ടു എന്തായിരുന്നു? ഒമേഗ സ്ക്വയർ ആർ എന്നല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞത് അല്ലേ? ഇനി നമുക്കൊരു റിലേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. എന്താണ്? വി ഈക്വൽ ടു ആർ ഒമേഗ. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒമേഗ എന്തായിരിക്കും? ഒമേഗ ഈക്വൽ ടു വി ബൈ ആർ അല്ലേ? ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഇവിടേക്ക് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാണ്. സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്താൽ ഞാൻ എന്തായിരിക്കും വരിക? വി സ്ക്വയർ ബൈ ആർ സ്ക്വയർ ഇൻറ്റു ആർ. അപ്പോൾ ഇവന്മാർ തമ്മിൽ അടിച്ചു പോയിട്ട് എന്താ വരിക? വി സ്ക്വയർ ബൈ ആർ. Okay, so it is clear. Okay, I think it is time. So we'll continue in the last 2 hours. Last 2 hours will be taken by myself. Okay. അവസാനത്തെ 2 hour, 5th ഉം 6th hour ഉണ്ടാവും. മെക്കാനിക്സ് തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കും. ഇന്നത്തെ ടൈമിങ് വ്യത്യാസമുണ്ട്, അറിയാലോ.